Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Traveling Gun. My name is Thomas. Today's vlog is going to be pros and cons of being a flight attendant. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. If you're returning, make sure you hit that like button, the share button, and make sure you comment as always. So what I'm going to do is get into the pros and the cons because I can't not do it. As far as I cannot give you just the benefits of being a flight attendant without telling you the downside of being a flight attendant for some people. For everybody, some of the cons might not be as bad, just as for me, some of them are not as bad. But to get into the video, you get to travel the world, and this is depending upon whether you work regional or mainline. But regardless of whether you work, you get to travel to a different place every day that you probably never went to, or you probably never would have thought about going to. Like, I've never thought that I would ever go to Allentown, Pennsylvania, or I would go to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Never had crossed my mind to ever go to either one of those places, but I've gotten a chance to go there. And again, I work for a regional, so therefore my layovers are a little bit different from somebody who, say, works mainline. But there, I have gone to a lot of places that I probably never in a million years crossed my mind to ever go there, like Bloomington, Illinois, Moline, Illinois. I've never thought about going to Columbus, Mississippi. I've never thought about going to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, ever. But I've been to those places several times, and you know, Baton Rouge is one of my favorite layovers now. So that's one of the positives. You get the pros to this job is that you get to fly and travel the world. You get to stay in different hotels, meaning your hotel accommodation is paid for. So let's say, as most flight attendants, most of them are not from where they're based. And let's just say perhaps you get a layover to, you know, a city that you're from, where you went to school. You don't have to worry about paying for a hotel. Your hotel is already paid for by the company. Now, depending on how nice the hotel is, depends upon, again, regional or mainline. And not saying regional, we stay in crappy hotels. No, we stay in pretty nice hotels. For the most part, a lot of them are name brand hotels. Mainline hotels may be a little bit, you know, up, you know, extra star or something, but again, that just depends on your airline. But either way, your hotel accommodation is always paid for on layovers anywhere that you have. Like, I had a layover in Key West. I didn't have to worry about paying for a hotel. The hotel was already paid for, a very nice hotel at that, to where I honestly, 5 adults probably can sleep in that room comfortably. That's how nice the hotel was in Key West. Another benefit to being a flight attendant are the flight benefits. You can fly for cheap, little of nothing, basically, even when going internationally. Your family gets to fly, your immediate family, you have a spouse, domestic partner, your parents, they get to fly. Domestically is free, domestic is free, internationally you just pay the taxes. And I went to Japan recently with my children, and the taxes from Japan was $44. And that comes out of your payroll. It's not something that you pay up front. So you get to travel internationally for free, pretty much little nothing, domestically free. Like I said, I've been to Japan, I've been to Santiago, Chile, I've been to France, Paris, I've been to St. Thomas, I've been to Korea, I've been several places domestically. I've been to Seattle for lunch, San Francisco for dinner, came back home. You just get, I use the airline as my personal Uber, if that makes sense. But that's another benefit that you have. Places, my mom has been to Japan, and she's been to Korea, she's been to Hawaii, she's been to St. John's. And, you know, it just, you know, gives me a sense of that I'm able to, per se, send her to these places, you know, because it would have been a lot harder. And even for me, I still would have probably traveled to these places. Even if I didn't have this job, it probably would just took me a lot longer because I would have to save the money to go to these different places. But this job makes it a lot easier and a lot more affordable to travel the world. Flexibility of being a flight attendant, meaning that this is not your regular 9 to 5. You can have as many as 20 days off that I've seen. Your days are not always Monday through Friday. It does vary. So if you're like me, I know when I was working my 9-to-5 job, I had to use PTO if I needed to go to the doctor, or if your child is sick, someone needs to stay home, you had to call into work, use PTO for that thing. As a flight attendant, you have the flexibility of having 20 days off is the most that I've seen. Right now, I'm at 2 years. I'm getting 15 days off. I can either use that to pick up more trips, or I can use that to go travel anywhere. Now, granted, it's not going to start off that way. You have to. This is a seniority-based job, and you might start off with maybe only 11 days off, and you don't get, more than 2 consecutive days off. But you still have that flexibility of having multiple days off, and it's not your 9-to-5. You're not chained to a desk. So for me, that's a big plus, because I was just bored being chained to a desk every day doing the same exact thing. The next one is you get to meet different people from all over the world. So being that I work for a regional, a lot of people get on our planes, they're connecting to a mainline to go internationally to another place domestically that we do not fly. So talking to passengers, you get to meet different ones from various backgrounds, what they do, and trust me, they're genuinely will tell you what it is that they do, and you can make some connections that way. You never know who you might meet. Just prime example, I'm going to the Bahamas a lot, talking to a first class passenger, telling them how much I go different places, telling them about Airbnbs, and they tell me, hey, we own an Airbnb down here, you're so nice, instead of us giving it to you for X amount of dollars that is listed for, we'll give it to you for this. So you meet different people from different backgrounds, co-workers that are from different backgrounds. You just get to meet different people every day. You always are going somewhere new, meaning even if you've been there a million times, it's not the same flight, it's not the same people, it's not the same captain, it's not the same crew. So you're always going to somewhere new on an everyday basis or whenever you're working. And for me, that's a big plus, because as I said, being stuck to my desk at a 9-to-5, you're doing the same thing every day over and over and over again, seeing the same people constantly. It's the same thing, and that got boring to me. So you're always going somewhere new. The next thing is the pay. Starting out, the pay starts off low. Again, this depending on regional or mainline. But after your first year, the pay does go up significantly. Then it keeps going up, it keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up the longer that you are with the company. The pay does pay well, as far as the more seniority that you do get with the company, because again, this is a seniority-based company. So now for the cons, the downsides, the not so glamorous part of being a flight attendant. One of the not so glamorous things of being a flight attendant is your schedule can change based on operational needs. And for some people, this is a big issue. Let's say, for instance, you have this perfect trip to a layover that you want to have, and then all of a sudden, boom, some weather delays, somebody misconnects. Now they're changing your schedule around. You don't get to go to your the layover that you wanted to go to and had plans for. So that is something that you could prepare yourself for. If it can happen at any time. Somebody can have a maintenance delay, but your flight is on time, so therefore they're going to take you off your flight and your schedule and put you onto this. Now, for me, it's not that big of a deal, but I can understand how it is for some people when you have this layover in mind and all of a sudden it just gets changed. Another downside to being a flight attendant is your schedule might not turn out the way that you want it to be. As meaning, in the beginning, this is a seniority-based job, meaning at the beginning you're new, so your schedule is not going to be as great as somebody that's been here 5 years. So you might not be able to get the consecutive string days off, so you can fly somewhere, or if you need to, can pick up extra shifts. Extra trips if you need to. So Again, that's something that you have to think about. Again, is based on your airline, how the bidding process works for your airline, and again, mainline versus regional. So your schedule might not be as great. It might suck at first. You might not get as many hours as somebody that is senior, but try to always work the system and try to swap and trade with someone as you can. Another downside to this is delays. Delays can be the best and worst thing to happen to someone, a flight attendant in this job, meaning a delay can be bad in a sense. Say, for instance, if you're delayed and you're stuck in a plane with passengers and you've been delayed for so long, those passengers become cranky and angry. And that can be bad for you because now you have to deal with those angry passengers and you have no update to give them. That's just natural. A delay can also be good to where it can change you to a better destination layover than what you had originally. Or it gives you time to get caught up on sleep, whatever it is that you do. But you have to deal with delays in this job because it's going to happen. It's bound to happen, whether it's maintenance or whether it's weather. It's going to happen. You're going to have to sit there for however long. You don't know how long it's going to last, whatever it's going to be. Another con to this job is that starting out, the pay does start out low. So if you're not, in a relationship, you don't have anybody to make up that other half or supplementary income, it can start off low if you don't know how to work the system. As far as being able to trade, pick up trips, the pay can start off low. It does get better, within the next year when your pay raise does go up, but it can start off low. And then again, that's still going depending on mainline, regional. So it just depends on your airline and what airline you choose to apply for. But the pay can start off low. What I will say to that is make sure you try to eliminate as much debt as possible while you have a regular job, steady paycheck. Save as much money as possible because just for a rainy day. Whether you're doing this job or not, you should save money, period, just in case of a rainy day. But the pay can start off low, but it does get better. If you have someone to help supplement the income for you, that's great. If not, it can get hard. But if this is something that you truly want, I say stick with it. The con to this job is that you're not going to always get holidays off or special occasions off for your loved ones. You do get it. You might miss those times, meaning you're not going to get off for every holiday: Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings. It just doesn't happen that way all the time. And not saying you can't get lucky like I did. My first year, I was off for every holiday, every birthday that I had. This year I missed my daughter's birthday on the 28th, but I came back on the 29th of December, and then we went and left for Tokyo on December 30th. So it's kind of one of those things. I was off for Christmas, I was off for Thanksgiving, I was off for 4th of July. It's just I got lucky to be off on those days. So, and that's another kind. Like I said, it's just you're not going to always be off for holidays at all. Some days you're going to have to miss holidays, you're going to have to miss birthdays. So that's another thing to think about, is you're unlike a regular job where you're off on every holiday. This job is 365 days of year, and so you might have to work those holidays. But those are all the pros and cons that I have for this video so far. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section. I do leave my email. You can hit me on Instagram. I do respond as quickly as possible. But for me, the pros outweigh the cons for this job, the good and the bad. So that's just for me. It outweighs the good and the bad. The good outweighs the bad, I should say. And it's not enough for me to go back to sitting behind a desk. So sometimes you do have to roll with the punches and deal with the bad of this job, but the good always outweighs the bad. Again, thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment. I want to thank you again for watching. My name is Thomas. Y'all have a good day.